What's going on, YouTube, man? I'm proud to be back. I'm so happy to be back yet again. Like I said before in other videos, just been out running around doing all kinds of stuff. I've been active. I'm here, right? So I appreciate you guys for having some patience with me and come back. I ain't quit. Just so y'all know, I had a bunch of other stuff going on, but I'm back. That being said, right? Here's what we're talking about. We're out in summer workouts. We out now. We're outside now. The weather's getting good. Weather's getting nice for some places, for some people out in certain areas of the country and outside of the world, right? I just want to give a couple tidbits and some understanding in terms of mindset, when it goes from indoor workouts to outdoor workouts, right? Those things kind of change, and how to avoid injuries regarding with workouts and stuff. So one thing that I've noticed for so many years that as a trainer, the first things that I do when I take out, when we go outside, when we transition from inside to outside, immediately the first thing, one of the number one things in terms of safety and try to avoid injury, the obvious one is the hydration, right? Making sure you coming in with water, because now you're more than likely is going to perspire a lot more than you did when you was outside, because we're going to do more outside activities. We may have more space, right? More terrain to work with. So the drills and the workouts going to be a little bit more extensive. So you're going to apply more work. So hydration is very key. So making sure you have the proper water bottles and hydration to keep you hydrated prior to the workout. People forget and think just hydrated while you work out. You should be hydrating and maintaining a good balance of electrolytes prior to the workout. The other big thing, the number two, which is I almost really rank it just as high as hydration, is your shoes apparel, right? What you're wearing on your feet when you working out. Do not bring the workout shoes that you had inside and take those outside. You're going to have to change the style, the kind of shoes that you're wearing, because it's going to be different terrain. It's going to be different work. It's going to feel different, right? So it's important that you bring the proper shoes, because having bad shoes or not wearing the proper shoes for the kind of workouts that we may do can cause some serious effects to either your knees, your shins, your ankle, your Achilles, your hamstring, your ankle, every facet of below the torso you can affect, and even your lower back, because you're off, right? If we're off in a track, or off in the track right now, we're on that kind of terrain, as opposed to indoors where it may not be a track, it may be that kind of turf, and then we're trying to run out here, do sprints on shoes that are worn, shoes that are often uneven. You done worn for 6 months or so. You done it's a different feel. So when we going out, you're susceptible to different kinds of injuries because the terrain has changed. And even though it may seem small, it may seem mundane, or like it's not that, or man, I ain't got the money to do that. And within reason, finding a new pair of shoes or a different style of shoes for the different style of things you're going to be using is imperative for your health, right? It's imperative for you to have a good workout. So when we're in there and we working out, right, and you're out in the summer, you're out working out, that having the right shoes, if you're going out for a 10K mile run, right? When you was running on a treadmill, it may feel different from when you're running now. You're actually running and you got that physics in terms of motion, and you're against wind and for wind, and you got nature. That is a different style. It's a different mode of element. You got to be careful on what you did on a treadmill. Sometimes do not relate when you actually are out on the field running, and you're out on the streets, or you're out running around on the sidewalks, or in the middle of the street, or often off-road, if you will, and you're out in the hills and stuff like that. Now you're dealing with natural elements that you didn't quite simulate. It try to give you treadmills and the Pelotons and some of these things do an excellent job of trying to give you that real feel as much as they can. And obviously, the more money you got in terms of indoor workout facilities, the easier it is. But you still can't measure up that outdoor nature, raw, how that feels. So it's always important to make sure you're changing the mindset when you're going outside as opposed to inside, because it's a complete game changer in terms of what goals need to be done and how you working out and stuff. If you've been outside all this time, then it's no worries. But it's usually this is usually dedicated to those who going from transitioning when now the weather's good, it's more consistent, and you're going from being indoors to outdoors and cycling and running when you was on a stationary bike, and now you're on your actual bike, right? You're on a treadmill, now you're out on the field or out on the track. Those things are different, and you have to have that understanding. So my tip, especially when you're about to be outside and working out, is making sure you're finding the right shoes, the right clothes, right? Understanding what you're going. Don't push yourself to the extent that you did when you was indoors as opposed to coming outside. So that first day or so, just get familiar with, the outside terrain of your respective neighborhood, or you go way out from your residence and you go out to a park, take a walk, do a jog. I would recommend, and this is just a recommendation, just do half of what you did so you could get an understanding and a good feel, especially if you got a new pair of shoes on or you want to break those in. Similar to, and obviously we're not these, but it's just to kind of give you a correlation, right? When people that are avid fish lovers, right, and they have aquariums and have all kinds of fish, and sometimes you see people have a fish and have them in a bag and set them in the water. So is the reason why they do that is for the fish to get familiar with the water, the current of the push of the water, the temperature of the water, right? Being familiar with the surroundings so they don't panic, right? You don't kill them because they're not used to the temperature or the current of the water and stuff like that, so they can get comfortable. And then after a few days, they take that and put them back in without the bag, or put the fish back in without the bagged water. It's similar to that with us in terms of humans. When you're from inside and now you're going outside, just get familiar with the sun, get familiar with the weather and how everything is going around it, how the community evolves or works in terms of finding a good navigation of going around in terms of your mile or your 5 mile, your 10K, however you want to do that. So that way your body makes that adjustment. Your body needs that adjustment and needs that time. It doesn't hurt to take a day or two to get acclimated, get your shoes comfortable, the right shoes and stuff, and the right attire, the right apparel, and as well as the getting used to having make sure you're hydrating yourself properly. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for looking and reviewing and checking me out. It's been a while, so I'm a little rusty, but I'm gonna get back into it, get back into the swing of things. Who are you? What is your race? What is your mission? All right. I appreciate you. Go.